Right, okay, I have had this parcel come all the way from the other side of the world. Now, often when people talk about they've got gold or a box full of gold, they're not talking about the metal compound, they're talking about retro gold. Well, this is kind of somewhere in between. We'll get to that shortly. But yeah, this has come from my good friend, Chris. So, Chris is based in New Zealand. Now, for those of you that don't know, large parts of Australasia are PAL regions. Even though they're on literally the other side of the planet, they are part of the PAL territories when it comes to video games. It's a bit strange geographically, but what often happens is they got releases and special editions and certain lines that we never got in Europe, or more specifically here in the UK, and that's where my friend Chris comes in. So Chris is part of the Ghetto gang. Now, we're fortunate enough on the Ghetto gang to have members worldwide so that we can all sort of share things that are regional exclusives and we can pass them on to fellow collectors on the other sides of the planet. But all of that being said, I think what we need to do is just get into this, because yeah, there's so much good stuff in here that I can't wait to share with you all. So this, as I say, came all the way from New Zealand, and we had no issues. So you may remember previously, it was Chris that sent me the Virtual Boy, and that had a lot of issues with customs and things like that. I think what we did with this one, to reduce any customs issues, charges and being held, etc., we just put the value as being low. So thankfully it didn't get lost because it wouldn't have been insured. The gamble paid off. It's here because there is quite a lot of money's worth in this box. Wow. Okay, there's a lot in this box. Now this one here is individually, is this what I think? Right, okay. This one we're doing last. This is something very special, and it's not like linked to the other stuff anyway. It'll all make sense a bit later on, but that we're gonna get to last, as I say. Is there a note or anything in here? Have you put a note in here for me, Chris? Yes, there is a note. Hi again, mate. The latest stash from Down Under is all here, including a couple of extras for yourself and perhaps something for a Ghetto gang giveaway. Keep up the great work. Best regards, Chris. Now, it's very kind of Chris to include something to give away to the Ghetto gang, but don't worry, I've also got something to give away to you guys watching at home as well, so just keep it tuned. We've got a couple of giveaways coming up. This is a great place to start. So, on the Mega Drive, we've got this copy of Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops.
Awesome, baby! Awesome, baby! Slam jam, baby! Awesome, baby!
So this 1994 Time Warner developed college basketball game is the game that features the voice and likeness of basketball sportscaster Dick Vitale, featuring his quotes and catchphrases, I'm guessing including awesome baby. I don't know, I've never heard of Dick Vitale, if I'm being honest. Seems strange to me that this is a PAL Australian exclusive because it features college teams from American basketball. But anyway, the game itself plays on a 3D court, and the court sort of rotates to fit the player's position. It was a technical marvel at the time, and I think they used a lot of that motion camera to sell the game at the time. This is one of them interesting, almost red-spined Australian exclusive PAL Mega Drive games. I think we've seen these before at my friend James's house. He's got like the full set of these ones. Very interesting. But yeah, this is part of the official PAL set. Probably not the best game in the world, I would have thought, but I'm going for a full set, and these are the kind of ones that I think are relatively cheap in Australia and New Zealand, but not very easy to get a hold of here in the UK at all. Now, that is the only sort of like basic generic sports game that you're going to see. The rest of this stuff is gold. Right, okay, so I don't even know where to begin with all this. Let's go with, oh man, where do you start? Okay, on the Mega Drive, Streets of Rage. Yes, the daddy of beat-em-ups, released in 1991. It kind of like paved the way for what a lot of beat-em-ups would go on to be. And to be honest, this is a game that I need to replay. when I think of Streets of Rage, I just think of Streets of Rage 2. I've played Streets of Rage 2 so many times, myself and RG Jr. play it quite regularly, but because that game's so good, I never really feel the need to go back to the original Streets of Rage, so this might give me the impetus to do so, because like I say, when I think of the series, I only think of the sequel, and I probably just need to refresh what this one's actually like, the music and everything. But you'll be seeing immediately Sega Gold Collection. We're going to touch upon that a little bit more later on. But yeah, not a bad start. Let's keep going, shall we? What's the next one we got in here? Wonder Boy in Monster World. I don't actually think I own this one. This one's the 1991 side-scrolling action RPG, and it's actually the 5th game in the Wonder Boy series and the 3rd game in the Monster World sub-series, which is why in Japan it's known as Wonder Boy 5, Monster World 3. Catchy title. Thankfully, we just went with Wonder Boy in Monster World here. I played through Wonder Boy 3, I think, last year. Really enjoyed it. It's a short game, but it switches the gameplay up really well with like shmups in between and all that kind of stuff. Really fun game. And like I say, I think this is one that I still need anyway. So yeah, this is actually one that's going to come off the full set list. But it's probably a good time for me to talk about exactly what these are. So these Mega Drive Gold Collection, besides looking absolutely incredible, were, I think, budget re-releases that only came out in Australia and South Africa, I believe. So very hard to come by here in the UK. You never see these. I didn't even know these existed until recently. Shout out 16-Bit Rich on the Ghetto Gang Discord. He's got an incredible collection and he's got the full set of these, and that kind of got my juices flowing, if you like. And these things look so good together, and we may just have the full set of these in this box. So let's keep going, shall we? Next up, we have classic Sonic 2. The 1992 sequel. I'm by no means the biggest Sonic guy. As a kid, I always preferred Mario. I like to do platforming at my own pace. I like to be more deliberate, whereas Sonic kind of forces you to do things at high speed. But I can't lie, as a kid, I was definitely sort of blown away by not only the music, but the visuals. There was a lot of like 3D rendering going on with Sonic 2, especially on the bonus stages. And if I was going to play a Sonic game, it probably would be Sonic 2. So yeah, definitely worthy of getting a gold release. There's no official information as to what games got a gold release and what games didn't get a gold release. It's not as if they sold 1 million or anything like that. There's nothing specific as to why, but these are pretty much all bangers across the board. But there is more than just gold, and that's something that we'll touch on a little bit later on. But let's have a look what's next. This one is the only one I would say is a bit of a strange inclusion to the set, and that is the Otifants. This 1993 platformer is based on anthropomorphic creations designed by a German comedian. I've never played this one. I recently got the standard edition for my own collection. But like I say, it's keeping some illustrious company with the rest of the Sega Gold collection. I'm not going to stand here and say it's a bad game. I've never played it. It's just not one I would have guessed would be in this set. Right, okay, I'm going to put these two together because there's a bit of a story here. I think I told this story a few years ago on the channel, but it's worth recapping. Right, okay, let me grab them. So, many years ago, a young me, I don't know, let's say sort of 5 or 6, was very hyped, like a lot of us from my generation, for the release of Echo the Dolphin. The 1992 action-adventure game where you take control of a bottlenose dolphin who battles extraterrestrials in Earth's oceans. At least I think that's what you're supposed to do. If you're able to get far enough into the game to see any of that. Like a lot of kids, I got nowhere. This game was not very intuitive. It did not hold your hands, and don't get me wrong, it looked fantastic. I spent many hours just floating around that opening level, looking at how beautiful the oceans and the coral reef looked. But I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know how to progress any further. It's probably a game that I should go back to as an adult and see if my more developed brain can do a bit better with it. But anyway, so we bought this on release as kids. We're all hyped for it. Played it, spent many days doing nothing, and thought, you know what, this is rubbish. Quickly decided this wasn't for us, And then we did what a lot of people did back then. We advertised it in the local newspaper. That's how you got rid of stuff back then. There was no CEX, there was no eBay. So we put this in the local paper. I can't remember, it was either cash or trade. Anyway, you'd put your address, whatever. One day, a knock at the door. My mum goes to the door. Callum, it's for you. Now remember, I'm like 5 or 6. This is little Callum right now, yeah? We don't know what's going on. I go to the door, and it might be amplified by the fact I was so small, but I swear to God, there was a man that resembled John Coffey from Green Mile at my front door. And and he had a loose cart from memory of this game, Wrestle War. Now, Wrestle War was originally a 1989 arcade release, and it saw a 1991 Mega Drive port. You wrestle as Bruce Blade, a rookie who has to make it through the ranks to ultimately try and win the Sega Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Championship. Now, this game had unlicensed fighters, but they were obviously based on real wrestlers. There was one that was quite clearly Abdullah the Butcher, there was Road Warrior, Hawk, and Hulk Hogan himself. The Japanese version of this actually had what could only be described as a picture of Hulk Hogan on the front. Here in Europe, we changed it to look less like Hulk Hogan, but yeah, it's clearly Hulk Hogan. And yeah, so this guy turned up with a loose cart of what at the time was a couple of year old game. And what was I gonna say, right? What was I gonna say? Nah, mate, you're taking the piss. Of course I wasn't. That's what you get. So he gave me a loose cart of a 2 or 3 year old game, and I gave him a brand new box complete copy of what was the latest, greatest game in Echo the Dolphin. Now, as the years have progressed, I would probably say Wrestle War is a better game than Echo the Dolphin. Me and my brother actually put quite a lot of time into Wrestle War, so to be honest, it probably worked out for the best, but I think in terms of monetary gain, he won. If by any chance you're watching, mate, you did me on that day, right? But yeah, 2 more for the collection, Wrestle War and Echo the Dolphin, and steeped in childhood, what should we call it? Let's just go with childhood memories. I'm not sure if it's a good or bad memory, to be honest. Right, let's keep it going. Another Sonic title, we've got Sonic Spinball. For the longest time, I thought this 1993 release was called Sonic Pinball. I missed the S for many years. But yeah, Sonic Spinball, once again, you have to attempt to stop Dr. Robotnik. This time, he's trying to enslave the population in a giant pinball-like mechanism. I think you actually play as the pinball in this, something like that. It's not one I've ever put loads of time into. But yeah, another Sonic title, another piece of gold for the collection. Oh, now you're talking. This is a nice one. Turbo OutRun. Originally a 1989 arcade release following up to the 1986 original, this was ported to the Mega Drive in '92. In this one you traverse across the US from New York to LA, and I always liked this one because for me, I always loved the Ferrari F40 growing up, and in this one you are in the Ferrari F40, and from memory there's sort of like, it's not just the time you're playing against this time round, you're playing against like computer drivers, and I think they drive Porsches, are they black Porsches? And I remember at the time when I was a kid, there seemed to be this big rivalry between Ferrari and Porsche, and it was like, oh, what do you prefer? And it's sort of like this thing that almost seems to have quietened down. I don't really ever hear anybody talking about Ferrari versus Porsche anymore. But as a kid, I remember that being like a big rivalry, so that kind of all added to it for me as a kid playing this one. I think I only had this one as a kid, because I don't really have any memories of the original OutRun. I do prefer the original OutRun, but this is definitely one that I need to revisit, Turbo OutRun. So, yeah, man. And interesting that they've got this Sega Classics sticker on them. So a couple of them have this on the front, and it looks like it's been there since release. Very interesting. Chris did actually say to me that they're not like the best condition boxes and stuff like that. Some of these I might switch out to make these look prettier, because these are going to look so good on display, which we'll get to a little bit later on in the video. But yeah. So good, so good. Right, we'll save that one. That's like the heavy hitting one. Okay, another one with the sticker on. We have got World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. This 1992 platformer is the third release in the Illusion series. I personally preferred the original release, Castle of Illusion. I think that's the best in that series of games, but this is still a fun time. All of the platformers of this era are pretty good, to be honest. There's quite a few on the Super Nintendo that I really enjoyed playing through as well. You can't really go wrong. They're not fast, you do have to get used to the pace. When you first put them on, I think they can seem a little bit slow. But yeah, it's something that you do get used to as you play it. Beautiful colour palette. They always look fantastic, as you'd expect. But yeah, another one. Right, what else we got? Okay, so we're going to get into giveaway time here. Chris very kindly threw in an additional copy, by the looks of it, of Wonder Boy in Monster World. So this is one I'm going to be giving away to the good folks over on the Ghetto Gang Discord. So as this video goes live on Wednesday, I'll be putting this up for a giveaway to you good people in the Ghetto Gang. But me and Chris are on the same wavelength because I already intended to do a giveaway anyway. I had one of these prior to this box coming, and I was going to try and slowly piece them together, and it would have been slow because it's hard to get these in the UK. But yeah, I had managed to get my hands on one game, and that game is the Ren and Stimpy Show presents Stimpy's Invention. So this platformer is of course based on the Nickelodeon cartoon. You can play as either character in this platform adventure as you journey on a quest to find all the pieces for Stimpy's Mutate-O-Matic, a machine which can turn scraps into food. And so yeah, you basically have to collect all the different pieces together to rebuild it. It's a weird story, but what would you expect from what was a weird cartoon? We spoke about Ren and Stimpy recently. When I went to Amsterdam, I picked up 2 of the Ren and Stimpy games for the Super Nintendo, which I was very happy to do. But yeah, I have 2 of these, so I'm going to be giving one of these away to you guys. Just let me know, just simply comment down below, Ghetto Gold. If you're a Mega Drive collector, if you want to start your own gold collection, or if you just simply like Ren and Stimpy, just let me know down below, Ghetto Gold, and we'll get one of these given away very, very soon to one of you good people. Let's go. We're keeping the classics coming. That looks really nice as well. That is Golden Axe 2. This 1992 Sega developed beat 'em up is an absolute classic. When I think of Mega Drive games, this is pretty high on the list. Maybe it's just because I had it as a kid. I had this, I had Altered Beast, and I had Sonic. I think they were like the original games that I had when we first got the system. Yeah, this one's a really nice example as well. Quite a lot of these have become quite wavy. It happens with Mega Drive games anyway, and it seems to be particularly affecting the gold collection. Maybe they're lesser materials used, or maybe just because it's a very different climate there than it is here, I'm not sure. But yeah, this one's a really nice example, and for me, like I say, right, I love how these look. I love the black with the gold lettering, but that little Sonic on everyone, so good. So good. And it's almost like I love a subset. Right, and before we get into... Oh, that's it, yeah. Because I've already spoken about Wonder Boy, haven't I? Yeah, Wonder Boy is going to be the Ghetto Gang giveaway. If, of course, you did want to get involved with that, there will be a link below to join the fantastic community over on the Ghetto Gang. Genuinely never been a better time to join than right now. But before I get into the gift and that, I want to show this. So this is the final, I believe, one of the gold collection. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, there's 12 in the set. This is by far the hardest to find and the most expensive, which is no surprise because it's an expensive game on PAL. And it's hard to find complete. Thankfully, this is complete. And that is Shinobi 3. This 1993 hack and slash platformer, I absolutely love this game, even though I can't complete it. It's far too difficult for me. We attempted this on a How Many Games Can I Complete in 24-hour challenge a couple of years back, and I wasted 2 of my 24 hours trying to beat this. I got right to the end, but it gets very difficult. But even so, I'd probably say this is my favourite Shinobi in the entire Shinobi franchise. I love how varied the levels are on this one. It really is a very, very good game. My original copy doesn't have the manual, I don't think. It's one of their Mega Drive games that you see every now and again, but it never seems to have a manual. And it's also a good time for me to reference the manuals that come with the gold set as standard. Look at that. Very unusual. Again, very lower quality. They're very paper-like. They all seem to be in this blue. Very, very interesting. Like I say, it was a budget range and it seems to have been put together with cheaper materials. But I don't care. I think they look so good. And that's it, right? That's all 12. These are going to look incredible on the shelf that we made space for on last week's vlog, if you saw. Right, okay, so Chris being Chris has included a gift. Now, I kind of know what this is without knowing what it is, because I can see looking down. So it says on here, complimentary freebie. Now, you might be able to see, this is a very different coloured Mega Drive game. Oh, no way. Right. This is Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition. An absolute stone cold classic of a game, right? You don't need me to tell you how much I love Street Fighter or what a fantastic game it is. But yes, there's another range. There's the Platinum range. So there's 12 in the gold set, and I think there's only 8 in the Platinum set. I know because I've already looked at this. It feels like an inevitable progression. If you're gonna do the gold set, you kind of have to do the Platinum set, so maybe we'll get to that on a future episode. Chris knew what he was doing by putting this in there, because now I feel obliged. But if you're gonna own one, own this one, right? Street Fighter, they again come with the blue paper manual, but I just find that so cool, that sort of Platinum Mega Drive box, official Sega. Yeah, one of these is even in the silver box. Look, Optifant, so I'll probably switch that out, because when I do go for the Platinum set, it's inevitable, right? I want them all to be in these Platinum cases. For me, that's just part of what makes them so cool. And yeah, so maybe we'll get to those down the line. But like I say, if you're going to have one, have that one. So thank you very much, Chris. That was very kind of you, man. Much appreciated. There was also a little keyring in that box as well. Super Nintendo one that I missed out on in Japan. So when I did Gachapon, I did the GameCube. I found the GameCube one. It wasn't my favourite one. I wanted the Super Nintendo one, and that's in the bottom of that box. So yeah, massive, massive shout out to Chris. But it is now time to get into this. So this is not part of the gold set. It's not part of the Platinum set. It's not part of any Sega set, right? No order from the other side of the planet would be complete without a bit of Nintendo cardboard, right? We're desperately missing Nintendo cardboard on this video. And yeah, just like Mega Drive, there are some games for the full PAL set, which I don't know if were only available in sort of Australasia, but certainly more widely available than they are here in the UK. It wasn't cheap, but it's still cheaper than it would have cost me to get it here. Ooh. Nice. That is Fatal Fury Special.
Fatal Fury Special! Round 1, fight!
Or Hungry Wolf Legend Special, as it's known in Japan. This SNK developed fighter was originally released for arcades and Neo Geo home console in 1993. This is the third entry in the Fatal Fury series, and it's an updated version of Fatal Fury 2. It basically added the 4 computer-only bosses that were in the previous game, but now as playable characters. They also added 3 characters from the game's predecessor, and it introduced combos and generally balanced gameplay, as most sort of fighting future iterations do. It also added a secret boss character, Ryo, who would go on to inspire the King of Fighters series. The SNES release came in 1994 in Japan, and critically 1995 for the Super Nintendo in PAL territories. But, to my knowledge, not here in the UK. And the reason I say that is, firstly, you never see this game. Also, if you go on eBay, firstly, the prices are all over the shop. There's one that's in poor condition, complete for £200, but it goes right up to £700. You see the odd one listed in Europe, but mostly if you look at for sale and sold listings, they do seem to be on Australia. So it's just one of them games that either was very limited to this region of the world, or it was an Australian exclusive and some have found their way over. I don't fully know. If you know, let me know down below. But yeah, very, very hard game to find. One that's been on my the back of my mind as one. There's a potential banana skin to my full SNES set for a long time. So Chris is an absolute hero. Just one of the benefits of having worldwide gang members on the Ghetto Gang Discord, right? To be able to help with things like this. This is complete. I'm not going to pretend it's mint. It's okay. It's certainly passable for me. Somebody once bought this for 49 Australian dollars and 95 cents from Outdoor Computer Games. But yeah, this thing is complete. It's even got that. But here it is, look. And it even says, okay, so this is interesting. This might tell us the answer to those questions. So, it says on the back, look, Takara, and it says distributed by, and then it has Australia and New Zealand, and it says High-Tech Game Centre, etc. Deutschland, and then it's got a German address, France, a French address, and España, and a Spanish address. So that would imply to me that we never saw it here in the UK. So Australia, New Zealand, Germany, France, and Spain. That's probably the answer to the question, right? So I'm glad I noticed that. But yeah, not only a game that I earmarked as being difficult, but a very cool game. I love fighters, the SNK and Fatal Fury. Look at that. Look at the artwork inside this manual. Amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. Once again, massive shout out to the legend that is Chris for just some incredible finds to add to the collection that would have taken me a lifetime to find here in the UK. So, with that being said, we're spoiled for choice of post-credit gameplay, but before we get into that, let's get this gold collection added to the shelf, shall we? So there was quite a lot of trial and error in getting these set up. I was trying to figure out the right amount of artwork to have on display, and I was happy with ultimately what I ended up with. But I'm also thinking that the spines look so good themselves that, yeah, I'm kind of caught between showing a bit of artwork or having the spines on display. It'd certainly take up less room if I just focused on the spines. But anyway, we ain't got to worry about that too much right now. Let's get one of them played. Let's go. Right, we're starting in New York. Oh, we've got a turbo button, hence the name. Right, it's been a long time since I've played this. As I say, if I ever play OutRun, I either play OutRun 2000 on the PS2 or I play the OG OutRun on the Mega Drive. They're like the go-to OutRuns for me. So whilst I did have this one as a kid, it's been decades since I've played this. I do like the concept. I like the idea of going state to state as you go from one side of America to the other. As you can see, we're starting off in New York. Oh, right on cue. We have transitioned to Washington DC. Now they've not been very kind to Washington DC, have they? It doesn't look great. I've got to stop talking and start concentrating because I'm gonna die, aren't I? Crashing twice is gonna cost me for sure. Right, I've got to really focus now. Come on, let's put a bit of a run together. Have I got any turbo? Come on. So the top left-hand number is the one you want to be looking at. If that gets to 0, it's all over. Right, we're in Pittsburgh. And the weather's took a very sharp decline. I do love how visually different the states are. And they come thick and fast. As I say, there's 16 different states. And the turbos, I think, are governed by that little barometer, the gauge in the bottom right-hand corner. If you get to the red, then you overheat, like that. I did have a quick look at the instructions actually before setting out on this. Let me tell you, the instructions are so cheap and nasty in this one. It's not even a booklet. It's like a little A4 piece of paper folded up. Part of the charm of these gold Mega Drive classics, I guess. How are we doing for time? 26 seconds, okay. I've got nothing to gauge it on because it's been so long since I played it. I don't know how well I have to do, but I know that sitting behind that Porsche is not going to help. Come on. Is that a green sun? How long we got? 9 seconds. Oof! Right, what's happened here? Oh, the band's popped up. I said F40, but that's an F50, isn't it? Right, anyway, select tune-up parts. I think we're going to go with high grip tyres, yeah. I think the speed's not a problem for me. I think it's more handling. But yeah, I'm sure that's an F50. I think I said F40 during the video, but that's a Ferrari F50, isn't it? Right, let's go. So I'm guessing it's broken down into 4 stages of 4. Where are we now? Oh, I'm not sure. Again, love the nighttime stage. Love how different they all are. There's a lot going for this game. It's just not the original. Do you know what I mean? The original's so iconic. The music. I think on the original you get to see a bit of a map as well. That'd be nice if you could see what kind of corners were coming up. Right, we're in St. Louis. You can find me in St. Louis. Ah, come on. Oh dear. Oh. No, come on. Oh, that's... Oh, you know what? We could be struggling here. We could have been done in St. Louis. Come on. Yes, we've made it to Memphis. 7 stages and they all look very different from each other. Be nice to get at least halfway, wouldn't it? See if we can get to the second checkpoint and earn ourselves another upgrade. Oh, just about. That's that new handling there. It's all become very testing, hasn't it? That was the wrong time to use the boost. That was the wrong time. Right, we're in Atlanta. Don't remember the weather being this... What is going on? Atlanta, I can't even see what I'm doing. Right, the difficulty's ramped up, right? There's a lot more Porsches on the track. We've got weather implications. Come on. What have we got? 23 seconds. I need some turbo. No, that is not going to help. Oh, no. Turn around then. That's it, innit? That's it. There's no way. There's no way. 6 seconds. Oh, we did it! Look at that! I can't believe that. 3 seconds. 3 seconds. That's incredible. Let's increase the engine power. Wow. So, okay, that was the first objective. I wanted to get at least halfway. Wow, 3 seconds. Skin of my teeth. We're in Miami, baby! Oh. Lady just got out of my car and got in the other car. What's happened there? Is that like a rival? Left him in the dust anyway. Why is all these Mini Coopers on the track? Right, come on then. How fast is that Mini? Oh no, we didn't need that. Come on. We did not need that. Right, New Orleans. Pink skies. This is a visually beautiful game. I'm enjoying this a lot more than I thought. I thought I was going to be saying to you guys, like, how it's nowhere near as good as the original. I'm not going to say it is, but it's a different game. And I'm really enjoying it. 15 seconds, come on. Oh, we made it. San An. Oof. Oof. It's not the first time I've been crashed in San Antonio, but that one was Ibiza. Oh. 18 seconds. You can't take your eyes off the screen, you know, if you look at the time. How have I just crashed out there? I didn't even hit anything. Nah, that's cheap. Don't do me like that. Come on. Yes! We're in Dallas. We somehow made it. I'd love to get to the third check stage. Oh, these things. Oh, man. Oh. 7 seconds. No, no, no. That's it. There's no way. There's no way. I'm even... Oh, no. We got to the 12th stage. Oh, man. Do you know what? I think it was a valiant effort. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Was about to hit Oklahoma. Do you know what? Brilliant. Loved it. If you watched this part of the video, let me know down below. Ghetto Turbo. Also, Ghetto Gold if you want to get involved with the giveaway. Thank you very much. Take care. Appreciate you all watching.